Jay Latham, his car actually starting to really haul the mail also. I heard a hard hit by one of them cars. Now, I didn't see where that wreck took place, but man, it sounded like it was wide open. Eddie, if you don't mind, please let me know if YouTube's back up and running. Decent start there on the front stretch for 3 cars. Was able to make it through Dead Man's Corner there underneath the orange track. So we get a little bit of a lane change, leadership from Ed Howell and Jason Howard.
Left, halfway through the heat.
And Randy Kirtley moving up the list also, as you see him with 99 laps currently. Tim Hall currently in the lead. This will be Tim's last time racing for approximately 4 heats, as he's turning
yellow flag
190 laps, respectively. Mo McPherson in second place on orange, so he'll have this
Get
heat
ready.
one more before he comes off.
Go.
Thank you, Eddie. I might have to completely shut that stream down and reload it. Let me check one thing on my phone first. I appreciate you helping me out here, Eddie.
Ten seconds left.
Okay, Eddie. Yeah.
Red flag.
I was about to say, I just checked it on my phone, and it seemed like it just popped up for me. So I'm glad it got back up there and popped up.
Heat over.
We do the best that we can do here at Lanes Raceway with the internet that we're provided. As most of you guys know, in smaller towns like this, you can't really get the super fast internet without paying an arm and a leg. And we're still a little bit smaller than we'd like to be at Lanes Raceway. But if we ever was to come into a way to do that, then we certainly would increase our internet speeds. As Tim Hall finishes up his racing with 198 laps. So Tim Hall will no longer be turning any more laps, as you see here. But I will say this for Tim Hall. His lap turning, not too bad at all. It's definitely going to be a top runner here. And probably in the top 3 would be my suspicion if I get this correct anyway. We'll see. Let's take us a quick look back outside as we end up getting to see what it looks like outside. I'll tell you too, a lot of times, it's both a blessing and a curse to be able to run the whole race 8 laps in a row, or 8 lanes in a row. As you get your mojo down and be able to run your car really good because you're used to coming right back into the race. But what really kind of hurts sometimes is that you're not able to get your car cooled off for 4 lanes, and sometimes that's just the luck of the draw, and sometimes ends up being a little detrimental for motors. But as we can look out here at Livermore, you see good traffic flow here. Looks like Jason Howard going out there, enjoy himself a little bit of a break.
The race starts in 1 minute.
Humidity going on out here, but looks like we got a pretty good breeze blowing. So we head back to look at the road course here, our orange track, also known as the GP track here. I'm going to take a small break, and I'll be right back with you guys.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
right, and as we look here, 5 seconds before we start seeing them lights, the guys there huddled around their controllers.
Get ready.
Butterflies are flowing, ready to go.
Go.
So we're back live, going green again. You see Bo McPherson there, currently taking the lead.
Yellow
So
flag.
rider screen
Get
now.
ready.
Bo McPherson, I believe, was that rider as he's getting put back on white.
Go.
They're all settled there on Dead Man's Corner watching the cars. And so we get some pretty good wide ups there on the S turn. A lot of riders being called as we get a track call there on
Yellow
the
flag.
backstretch. Looks like that's possibly Paul Woosley's car that came off out of the exiting corner.
Get ready.
You can feel the passion in these guys' voices.
Go.
I'm sure you guys can pick up how loud these guys are shouting as the competition is thick. As we get a hard hit there on red, Glenn Burton is on red. That car actually doesn't go on red, I don't believe. As we
Yellow
need a track
flag.
call here. I think that car there goes on green, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. As he was trying to put that car back on red. I hope there's a sticker
Ready.
on that car. But yeah, it's very important to read the stickers to know which way the cars go back on.
Go.
All these guys here really bustling here. Got another hard hit.
Yellow flag.
It looks like Ed Howe's car takes another hard hit coming out of the high banks. As red, white, and green are detrimental lanes here at Lanes Raceway. About there where you see Sam currently standing on black is about where the dip is in the track. If you do not let off there, I mean, just know it's your own detriment if you don't. I mean, these cars are moving at quite some speed, and it's basically getting airborne there right before you go into the corner. And if you don't, you'll end up riding that wall pretty hard and hitting it. So everybody here's known that for quite some time, and you know, I can't drive the cars for them.
Go.
At the same time, I see it all the time, as it looks like possibly Ed Howe's car might be shot after those two hard hits. Maybe the braid are gnarled up, possibly. Looks
1
like
minute left. Yellow
Gerald
flag.
Settle's doing his
Halfway
best to
through
get
the
back
heat.
on there.
Get ready.
We'll see if it was a braid issue. It might be a braid issue, possibly.
Go.
There it was. It was. So sometimes when they take those hard hits, a lot of times the braids will spread out, open leg on you, and you got to get them back in there and get them tight to
Yellow flag.
to the track. But like I said, these track marshals do the best that they can. Is they want to get your car on as fast as possible. That's kind
Get
of the
ready.
highlight of being a good track marshal is getting them cars back on there. You know. So a lot of times that gets overlooked, and there's somewhat of a short that takes place. Is you got to have both braids on both of the braids on the track itself to be able to hook up. You see my wife putting a car back on there on white, Bo McPherson's car. And Tom taking the eagle eye approach up underneath the Dead Man's Corner of the bridge. That way he can snap out there like a snake real quick and grab them cars and get them back on the lane for these guys. He's also got a button there to the left side of him that he can kill the track if it gets too radical. As we get a back lane.
Yellow flag.
Back here, we want a car coming off and a hard hit. I don't know where that hard hit came
Get
from.
ready.
But I did hear it. Somebody hit pretty hard.
Go.
We'll take a quick look here at the median times. Paul Woosley currently
10
with the
seconds
highest
left.
median time of 4.03.
Yellow flag.
Followed closely by Randy Kirtley with a 4.22 on purple. Like I said, keep an eye on Randy Kirtley, as most likely he's going to be climbing that leaderboard. Just from his data that we've seen.
Get ready.
One of our front runners here, actually, turning quite a few laps. So each heat,
Go.
kind of got to treat it as a race in itself. So no matter what lane you're on, we got a rider there
Flag.
on red. That's Ed Howe's car again, coming off green.
Get ready.
Ed Howe's kind of struggling on green, it seems, as that dip's really playing a number on his car on green.
Go.
But he
Red
was able
flag.
to get through red and white just fine. It just seems that the old
Heat
green
over.
lane was giving him some trouble as we take a look at TrackMate and get a little bit more info on some of this data. As Ed Howe, his car starting off at the day was quite a quick car. As you can see there on an orange, he's turning some of the higher times of 25 laps. Like I said, we take a look there at Randy Kirtley, turning 29 laps on red, which is the highest for red, and 26 on white, which is tied for the highest with Tim Hall. 26 laps there on green, not the highest, but very much a front runner there with Paul Woosley. 32 laps on blue, currently the highest on blue. So, like I said, as Randy Kirtley has 3 more heats to go, currently just watching the numbers here, he might end up being your victor by somewhat of a standard. Probably second place would be probably close to Paul Woosley, possibly Tim Hall. As we get a minute and 42 seconds left in this rotation, let's take a quick look at the pits and see how the guys are doing and what they're doing with their cars currently. Hopefully they're cleaning their tires. I've seen a lot of slippiness in them tires, and it seemed like some cutting out of the braid. It's always, as you see Randy Kirtley there, cleaning his braid there in the top right corner. You see Jay Latham also cleaning his car up. Probably one of the most important things to do is clean those braid, as cleaning the braid really gives you some good contact patch back to the lane.
It's in 1 minute.
Now, 1 minute before we go back green. Looks like Jay Latham's got his car working in some glue possibly on them tires, or seeing if it's freed up one. Seems like he's back in action. Struggled a little bit early on in this race, but like I said,
Race starts in 40
first
seconds.
race of the season, and it's still anybody's ball game. One thing I know about these guys over here that seem to be taking their cars on the pit area is, well, for one, Jay gets thirsty, but for another, these guys really do take it serious as they do their best to make their cars
Race starts in
as
20
as
seconds.
possible, and make sure that their gears are as tight as possible. That's what you see Randy Kirtley there doing, is making sure his gear and his stuff like that is well.
5 seconds.
We've got 5 seconds before the race starts here. Actually, 10 seconds for the countdown, and then we see lights. As we can't pause it. These guys
Get
just
ready.
have to get there when they get there. We see Jason and
Go.
Randy frantically getting to their cars as fast as they can. And we get a car coming off on the high banks again, most likely red, white, and green. Got a little bit of a delay there. Took place on the live stream. You see our stream catching up now.
One minute left. Yellow flag. Halfway through the heat.
As we hear rider being called.
Get ready. Go.
Had quite a few riders being called tonight, especially coming off, going into the backstretch. Some of these guys are freshly into their new Neo 17 DeFalco controllers. And they're getting used to that sensitivity. And I don't think some of them will quite know exactly how to dial it in just perfectly yet. But, it doesn't take much, and it don't take long for you can figure it out. And once you get it figured out and dialed in, you tend to have less of those issues of over acceleration coming out of corners. So just keep that back end from swiggling back and forth, and you'll be good. See
10
Randy
seconds
Kirkland
left.
blistering on black with a 3.93. Paul Woosley right there with him with a 3.91 on orange. Both of these guys giving it everything they can give.
Red flag.
Jay Latham there in second place, fixing to come off this heat.
Heat over.
That was a heat and a half, was it not? These guys were really hauling the mail. I say Jay Latham there with 25 laps. So, you know, his car back into shape again, it seems, as he's doing fairly well. As we currently see, Tim Hall still holding the lead now. As I'll be right back. One moment. Okay. I just got asked a question. It's a pretty good question, actually, from Robert Whitaker. He's like, do I go back in? Well, I see what he sees on the monitor as this TrackMate software updates when it wants to. So we got a minute and 27 seconds before we go green. Now you can see that Gerald Suttle's going to be going back in this time. So most likely it'll be Robert Whitaker coming in the next heat.
Starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds.
All right, looks like we got 11 seconds here as we go back.
Race starts in 5 seconds.
You see Randy Curley picking his controller up. Jay Latham putting his car up as he came off that last heat.
Get ready.
Now, when these guys come off for their final time, we tell them to put a sticker up.
Go.
Now, if they don't end up putting a sticker up, here's what happens. So basically, we just treat it like they're at the end of the start-finish line. And that's brutal because if you forget to put your sticker up and I go and ask you where you ended up and you say I didn't put a sticker up, well, even if you did, you were right at the start-finish line and before passing it, I still cannot give it to you. It's the exact opposite. I got to give it to you like you're all the way back. So this has all been expressed both in the rules on our website and also expressed before we even started talking about doing the series to everybody here. So hopefully they're putting their stickers up. But like I said, I can't control what people do or when they race. And but I have seen a few stickers out there when I went out there just to take a quick break there. So I know some people are doing it. But if you're enjoying what you see, you're on Facebook, YouTube Live, or Twitch, please give us a like, subscribe to us, and share to all your friends and family out there. As You know, we really would like to grow here
Left.
at Lanes Raceway
Halfway
and give
through the
these
heat.
racers the attention that they deserve. So you get a couple cars coming off there in the S turn up there on the top of your screen. Ooh, we get 3 cars
Yellow
off
flag.
on the back stretches. Everybody frantically moves to get their cars back on. You see Sam Nelson there grabbing his car there on purple. Randy Kirtley pointing at something. It's like Paul Woosley there.
Get
his
ready.
Car back on white.
Go.
As we go back green. Let's take and see who's turning the best lap time here. Currently, the boss himself, it seems, Randy Kirtley, turning 3.868.
Yellow flag.
Following very, very closely behind with Paul Woosley with a 3.872. And Dad ran his track
Get ready.
back in the day. Paul Woosley was but a teenager, riding bicycles around town. But look at him now up there racing with the big dogs, I guess you would say. As, he beat Randy a couple nights ago. Of course, Randy probably, for Lanes Raceway, is our best racer.
Yellow flag.
And a lot of times he won't race just because
Get
of that.
ready.
So, but this being our professional series, and he loves racing slot cars, you know, he's going to give it his best opportunity to give it what for. As you can see tonight, my brother Gabriel Kirtley not joining in the mix.
10
of course,
seconds
he'd be
left.
Right up there with Randy Kirtley. Both of them guys take it very, very seriously. But you don't see him tonight as he was quite busy. Wasn't able to make it here with
Red
us tonight.
flag.
So
Heat over.
There. Gerald Settle's car there on red. Let's take a quick look at TrackMate again. So we see Gerald Suttle back in the mix. Let's see what kind of lap times he's turning. 22 laps on red. Kind of comparable to most, but the second highest turn for red. All right. I'm going to answer a few questions there real quick. But currently see Paul Woosley there with 212 laps. Of course, that was his last heat. As he's coming out this time, and this will be the final heat of this race. And after this race, I'll tally up everybody's lap totals, and then we'll move on to the circle track. And then we'll total all those laps at the end of that race. And whoever wins it will have a little bit of a celebration and crown that guy the Howered Construction Champion Weekend, I guess. I don't know what we'll call it. We'll call it something. But like I said, Howered Construction is sponsoring this race tonight. Give him a call at 270-499-1201 for all your construction needs. As you see our stream there kind of suffering a little bit. All right, now our stream's caught back up. It's kind of like a fast time lapse in a way.
The race
Internet
starts
has
in
to
1
catch
minute.
up around here, but it ain't no big deal. We'll get through it, and eventually, if the Lord decides to bless us enough, and everybody here, we'll be able to get some faster internet, and you guys won't have to worry about that. We might even have 4K streams here instead of the 720p streams.
Race
that
starts
we've
in
been
40
having.
seconds.
As we're limited by bandwidth, most likely, you know, but it ain't too bad. These guys enjoy it. I know a lot of the guys really tend to just watch the TrackMate whenever they come out here to practice and see if their car is running up to snuff from the previous week. So it's a good
Race
tool
starts
for
in
the
20
racers
seconds.
here also, that they can go back and check the previous races and see where their average lap times are coming in. So when they come in here to test and tune, they'll know if their car's on par, ready to roll. So we've got 10 seconds left to go before we go into the
Race
light
starts
phase
in
of
5
the
seconds.
10 seconds. And if you guys have any problem with the stream or one of them cuts out, just like Eddie Burden let me know about YouTube going down, please let us know, because on my end, I can't run those separate, as it would
Get ready.
actually decrease our bandwidth even more. And I want to make sure you guys are seeing it wherever you're at.
Go.
So we get a stall there on red by Robert Whitaker. His car just dead in tracks. There he goes. Possibly sometimes when you see that, either the braid or one side of the motors tore up, possibly thrown winding or something like that. I hope that isn't the case for Robert Whitaker. As we get a hard
Yellow
hit
flag.
there on the back stretch. 3 cars involved. Looks like one of them is Jason Howard's car there, the blue and the silver car. Randy Kirtley's car possibly, and Tom Payton, it seems. But, looks like they're on white lanes. Nelson, he needs to get his car just kind of crooked up there a little bit in the high bank so he don't tear that gear up coming out of there. Sam been a family friend for quite some time. Him and Dad real close, knew each other for quite some time. His Dad actually bought the Blue King.
Get ready.
Sam back in the 90s. See Paul Woosley there helping that car from taking a wreck. Oh,
Yellow
here,
flag.
Red, not going. Maybe a possible rider. Yep, that's Sam's car there riding on red.
Get ready.
Sam goes back on white.
Go.
As we're going back green. And we see there are median times, 4.19 median time. Randy Kirtley taking first position. So this is his final heat. Like I said, keep an eye on him, as I knew he was going to start climbing up. Gerald Suttle holding down second place, followed by Jason Howard there in third. Definitely going to have to get him a mailbox set up.
1 minute left. Halfway
He
through the
is
heat.
really churning out those podium finishes. But Robert Whitaker's still there nipping at the toes of Jason Howard. Possible chance that he can overcome him there. But really going to have to really put in the work to get that to happen.
Ready.
Like I said, here in the Fairview IT Cup Series, 10 positions will be paid out at the end of the season with a purse of either $3,600 or $3,800. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I've seen both. I'll have to do a little bit more information looking here as we end this race.
Yellow flag.
And I'll let you know for sure. But all these guys really
Get ready.
just doing the best that they can, keeping their racing lives alive as we fixing to end this race and move on to the circle track. One thing I will bring to your attention that I haven't mentioned before about the Fairview IT Cup Series is every race weekend we want to have our races sponsored by individuals here in the community or abroad. And of course, Howard Construction are currently our race weekend sponsor. So please give him a
10
call.
seconds left.
They'll be fighting for his trophy tonight. Something else I didn't mention also is that last place in the series actually gets a payout too. So it's kind of a
Checkered flag.
hate that you finished last kind of payout, but
Over.
at least everybody all around somewhat can get something. So we move to the track mate here to end this race. Randy Kirtley in first place, followed by Paul Woosley in second, and Gerald Suttle rounding up third position with 203 laps. Easy. I'm going to take you to our trophy room as I end up counting up these laps, and we'll get us changed over to the circle track race as soon as we can. people up. When you get your cars ready, line them up. Jay, how you like that controller? All right, here we go. Ten seconds. All right, everybody, we're back. Continuing this Fairview IT double feature. Also, Howard Construction sponsoring this race weekend. Give them a call if you would, and get all of your construction needs done. As I just let the guys know out there that are setting out, that they, of course, have to track marshal or they get the 10-lap penalty. But they better go. I mean, the track's live. A little bit of confusion, it seems, out there. One second. Let me go clear some confusion here. All right. I just asked them if they wanted to restart, and they said they didn't, so we're going to go live here. If you're watching this circle track race here for the Fairview IT. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I had the breakout set for our GRC, so that's my fault. We'll be lining the cars back up, and we'll be starting this over. So we had a little bit of a hiccup anywho when we started. I got it all set up now and ready to go. As when I hit start, everything should zero back out. One moment. All right, here we go. It's got 5 seconds before we start. Hang on. Man, if my mind wasn't attached to my brain and my skull, I think, I don't know, I probably wouldn't be able to do this. I'm still struggling. I'll get it eventually, hopefully. Bear with me, y'all. All right, here we go. I finally got it reset. All right, we're going green. Everybody's racing. They're racing their hearts out. If somebody comes off there on black, a little too hard acceleration coming out on black. Ooh, and we get a hard hit. Ooh, and a wicked, crazy fast car coming off there at the end of Dead Man's Corner. That thing did some squirrely looking maneuvers. Quite a big pile up there. It's like Randy Kirtley's car was the one doing all those crazy moves. Looked like it was sea walking going down the back stretch. All these guys fresh off of the orange track as we got this one just straight up going right out of the baits. Didn't even check the cars, just assumed that these guys didn't have time. They might have. But, you know, we wanted to get this thing underway as quick as we could. A lot of these guys got to work tomorrow, and some of them's going to be pretty exhausted. So we're trying to get this through. As we go green again. So it's a whole lot faster racing, a whole lot more dizzying type racing. As looks like Bo McPherson gets put back on. And we get a car off the track down here in the high banks. I think that might be black, going on black there for Tom Payton possibly. And Tom wants to see his car here. Now, as I said before, both of these races will be a total lap count. Randy currently with 228 laps, Paul Woosley with 212, Gerald Suttle with 203, and Tim Hall with 198, rounding up your top four. So keep an eye on those guys as it's possible that they will have a fast turnout on this also. So all the track marshals here are racers that are setting out. There should be 4 of them. And they're all keeping an eye as we get another hard hit there in the high banks. I think that might possibly be Sam Nelson's car as he's there on orange. Yeah, Randy Kirtley seated his car pretty well. Ed Howe there on red lane. We continue again. It looks like Ed Howe's car came off, and we get a big wad up here. Looks like Bo McPherson's car there, put on by Robert Whitaker. We also see Jason Howard's car there in Glenn Burden's hands. So Jason Howard's going to get put behind the line because he didn't get his lap. Jason Howard currently in 5th position with 188 laps, 10 laps behind Tim Hall. Jason Howard, Howard Construction, as you've heard me speak before on when the orange track was going live, our race weekend sponsor. As we get a yellow flag and Jay Latham comes off there on green right before the crook of the track. So you can see on a trial, well, it's a whole lot easier to follow a race than it is on a orange track when it's being a little bit longer. Tim Hall putting a car there on black, Tom Payton's car, it seems. We get these cars to cluster up a little bit. One of them comes off there. It looks like Ed Howe's on red. Ooh, and Randy Kirtley is narrowly missing Bo McPherson there in the high banks. Bo McPherson there on yellow. Currently running a 1.66 lap time on yellow. The fastest out of all these cars. As we're back green, it seems these guys have now got their nerve about them. And they're not coming off the track as much. Real smooth. These are the best of the best here at Lanes Raceway. As we get a couple cars getting into each other there, it looks like Randy Kirtley needs to go behind the line there. I don't think he got his lap there on white. As you see Glenn Burden there prepping his car. Looks like Gerald Suttle on purple came off also. Currently Bo McPherson with the highest median lap time. Also the fastest lap time on yellow with a 1.521. He's got that car somewhat dialed in. As you see Sam Nelson's car coming off there again on orange. Seems like Sam may be having some issues with the high banks there. But Sam's car not running too bad as it's about average with the other lap times there. running my favorite body, as a matter of fact. Me and Sam both avid fans of Rowdy Burns. If you was to watch Days of Thunder, he is probably my hero in that movie. Currently, Jason Howard in the lead with 60 laps, blistering 60 laps, 2 laps ahead of anyone else running on blue. Everybody all laughing and cutting up here at Lanes Raceway. Even in a serious race like this, these guys are just humble, good gentlemen about racing. And you love to see it because all these guys are really good people to be around. And I consider them all my friends. As we get a heat over, let's take a quick look at the track mate and just see what we got going on here. As currently the laps, the average and everything will be all the same. Total laps, Jason Howard with 69, Gerald Suttle with 67, and Randy Kirtley rounding up your podium there for 63. Bo McPherson with 63. Sorry, Randy Kirtley with 64. Bo McPherson with 63, and that rounds up your top 4. Everybody else pretty close behind each other. That kind of drops off into the 40s there. Sam, Ed, and Tom might have had some issues with their cars. Let's take a quick look outside as we see the night progressing. Howered Construction, our weekend sponsor. Call them at 270-499-12001. All right, well, it looks like it's turned dark here at Livermore. You see a golf cart there. We can drive golf carts in this town. Pretty peaceful neighborhood. Grew up here my whole life. Love this place. Love the people. And it's a pretty good climate year-round for the most part. It gets kind of humid every once in a while. Seems like our spider's still there hanging out. Looks like he might get him a couple bugs tonight. I see some bugs flying around them lights. Hopefully he does and gets him a good meal. Wind picking up a little bit as we see them cobwebs just bouncing along. And good traffic flow. Earlier today, you see it was kind of humid. Not too much wind blowing, but yet again, I say, probably a good night to take a walk. Let's see what these guys are they're going after here after this race when we tally up all the laps. Let's see what these guys are battling for this weekend for the Howered Construction Cup here at Lanes Raceway. This is a little trophy we made up here at Lanes Raceway for the Fairview IT Cup Series. Our first race weekend, Howered Construction, our first race sponsor. And this will be handed out to first place. I hope they hold it while they sign up the top board at Lanes Raceway. We call it the drip around here. That was named after a couple kids that we watch every once in a while, and they like the drip. That's what they said when we was first building this place. So I'm going to get these guys to sign up there and hold this trophy as we do our celebration later on. And I can't wait to hand this to somebody, as we're pretty proud of it here at Lanes Raceway, and everybody's eager to get it. So we've got 14 seconds before we go back live racing. See everybody there lining themselves up. All right, we see there on Black Lane, that's Gerald Suttle. Fared well the last race. Gerald Suttle there turning 203 laps in the previous race. As we get these guys really beating and banging there. Ooh, I seen that coming a mile away as Jason Howard took a hard hit from Gerald Suttle as he went to try to pass him on the outside there on purple, causing another car to get in an accident there, Bo McPherson's. Looks like he lost about a quarter of a lap there, possibly, maybe a third. But both of them cars really racing hard. As I always say, if you got the inside line, you don't have to let off. And sometimes you just got to pick and choose whenever you need to pass people. But as it is for Jason Howard, he really needs to pass Gerald as much as he can, as Gerald is currently 2 positions ahead of him from the orange lane. As we get Ryder called out quite loud. Looks like Paul Woosley's car possibly was involved in that. As as we go back green. Maybe Paul Woosley has some serious issues there with his car as he takes his car to the pits to